You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
What are your thoughts on that?
The confusion reigns supreme. Because on the one hand, we are told to find the love of your life. That is the most important thing. Nothing competes with that. Nothing compares with that. You must find the love of your life. Oh, but he can't be a prince. Why not? He should be a prince. He should be your prince. Yeah, well, what about becoming famous and doing everything you can because you can? Oh, yeah, that's also important. So to heck with the prince. Come on. I think the best example are the Clintons. Did she find her prince? Would she give up her whole political career just to have a husband who loves her? No? Would that be an insult to womanhood? Would it be an insult to womanhood?
I suspect she would probably say so.
Huh? She would say so?
I suspect she would probably say so. I don't know. I can't speak for her, but...
That's the confusion. There's the confusion. We have a very real need for intimacy, for a sacred relationship with somebody so that we're not alone in the world. And then you have this narcissistic dream of being powerful. Can you combine the two? I hope so. But to exchange one for the other, there go the pills again. You're going to be on pills, guaranteed. It's a ridiculous statement to make. And by the way, these fairy tales are much older than 1937. They're hundreds of years old. And they have such profound psychological messages, which is why they were so popular for so long. And if you tamper with it, you mess up the whole subconscious message that it's supposed to convey to children. It's like saying you have this sleeping potential for a true love relationship. Not the love for your mommy, but the mature adult love. And you got to put up with all sorts of emotions represented by the dwarfs. But then eventually you get to the real relationship, the mature relationship, which is one of the deepest human needs. So it's a brilliant story if you read between the lines, which is what it's meant to be. It's like this guy, Otto, I forget what his name is, Otto. Anyway, a famous psychologist who wrote a book called The Uses of Enchantment. And he explains the psychological secrets that these classical fairy tales convey. He says, for example, in the early prints of Little Red Riding Hood, the pictures that they show is not of a little girl frightened by the wolf. It's a little girl fascinated by the wolf. attracted to the wolf. It's all about repressed sexual feelings. And it's brilliant. Snow White falls asleep because she pricked herself with a needle and saw a little blood.
Now, that
Get
was
it?
Sleeping Beauty. That was Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, right. Right. Take away that blood and you ruin the whole story. It's all about a girl becoming mature. So yeah, they take these brilliant, deep, profound things and turn it into narcissism. It's you want to encourage women to become the president of the United States? Go ahead. But don't ruin the rest of her life for her.
Mm.
Why can't you be married to the prince and live up to all your potential?
Mm.
It's really, it's part of the decay of our society.
Rabbi, I'm curious. You said on I think it was an interview you did on JLI, where you were speaking to some students, and they were talking about male and female differences. And you said that fundamentally the man in a relationship should be a giver and the woman a receiver and nurturer. But you've also said, and you've said this on JTV videos, that earning money and careers are neutral. They're not really male or feminine, masculine or feminine. But isn't being a breadwinner a form of giving? And so wouldn't that sort of therefore lean more towards being the male role? Just seems like a kind of logical conclusion.
Yeah, but it's one of the many forms of providing. You provide shelter, you provide food, you provide security, you provide love. You're a provider, which means you take the initiative.
Mm.
But if she's better at making money than you are, well, why not?
Well,
Then you have to provide something else.
Right. Some people would say that some men would say they find that emasculating. But
Yeah. Because they think it's all about the the trophy. I am rich. I am successful. That doesn't give.
Mm. Mm.
When your career becomes more important than your family, and your family is actually getting in the way of your career, you're not a giver. You're an abuser.
Wow.
So, what does the man give? If he gives the wife the security that she can go out and work and make more money than him, that's providing. I'm not too familiar with this, but what does the lion offer the lioness? She seems to be doing all the work. She does the hunting. What does she need him for? So, being aggressive, being productive, being successful, that's not unfeminine. At work, she can be more aggressive than most of the guys. But in her relationship with her husband, he provides for her something, and she receives it and nurtures it into something better. The traditional marriage of the husband who sits and studies Torah all day, what is he giving? In many cases, not much. He's just taking the easy way out, the lazy way out. But in the true kollel experience, he's giving her a reason to live. He's giving her an ideal to live for. My husband is studying Torah, and I will do everything to support that. He's giving, she's supporting, which is exactly the way it's supposed to be. But if they're not that sold on the importance of learning Torah, then the whole thing falls apart.
And what about when sometimes I might hear some people say, well, I'm earning us both our share in the next world.
If you really value that, then yes, then you're giving her what she wants, what she needs, or what she believes in, or whatever. But she feels like she is getting the most important thing that she needs from her husband, which is fine. I mean, I wouldn't advocate, I wouldn't promote that kind of living, but if it works, it's because he is giving her something valuable. He's bringing.
Do you think it's a lifestyle? Just go for it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a lifestyle that it is appropriate for perhaps just as we have academics in society, there are some people where it's maybe not the masses, maybe this was a strategy, a policy that existed in a destroyed Torah world post-war, but perhaps moving forward it should be considered more of a sort of academic elite kind of thing that's a bit more selective?
Yes, it can easily become toxic. It becomes arrogant, it becomes self-serving, it becomes...
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was, do you think that this is a lifestyle, the lifestyle of learning full-time, should now, moving forward, it's more appropriate to be for an elite that are really, I meant that in a good way, that is super talented about it with Torah learning, whereas many who just feel like, well, I just do this because that's what my whole society does. No, better they work and learn as well, mix it up a bit more.
Absolutely right. These great scholars of the past who sat and studied Torah all their lives, they would do very well if they went into business. It's not that they weren't capable. So the wife knew that if she should ever become tired or disabled and not be able to work, the husband will step right in and make a living. So it's still his responsibility that she is pinch hitting for. Pinch hitting is from American baseball. You want to make sure people...
I've seen that once in my life. Most viewers will know what that is, but I'm just going to pretend to know.
Yeah. So he is still in charge. He's still carrying the responsibility. She's just filling in for him. So she knows that she can quit any time and he'll take over. But if he's simply incapable of making a living, that's not the ideal. King David sat and learned. That's what he did. But when there was a need for a war, he got out his slingshot. So we're not talking about people who are incapable of doing anything else. That's not a healthy or happy picture.
Yeah.
We're talking about fully capable people who find learning Torah a greater virtue than making a living. So,
yeah, I think we're seeing, by the way, more integration, more kind of just of doing things perhaps in a healthy, balanced way. It's people are slowly acknowledging this, I think. So I think we're heading in a good direction in that sense.
Yeah.
Rabbi Friedman, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to more enlightening conversations, which I know have such great ripple effects across the world. through the wonder of technology.
And all your questions are really good. So let's do it.
Let's do it. And also, we encourage you, the viewers. I often take into account comments you make. I've referenced them a few times in our discussions today. Please put your comments, your questions, and I'll throw them at Rabbi Friedman perhaps next time round. So thank you.